Finger on the start button. These boats have no transmission. They're already in gear. Flag drops. These 4 strokes launch. Nice launch, Tyler Gilligan. Max Cook is out well out of pole number 2, but it's nice and clean. You can see a little bit of screw. Look at the rooster coming out of Budlight, so a bit more trim. So I think it's Ty Gilligan, out of 1 that's got the best. Now, he's actually running a line that's probably a little bit to the right. He's trying to open up this corner a little bit. It needs to be a little bit careful because these guys are all going to want to come across. But Ty Gilligan, beautiful, out of pole number 1, needed to make the most of it, and he's done it very nicely. Max Cook dropping into an inside line, and out wide is Carlin Bailey in the Queen Bee race machine. So a fast line through there, and Jack Meads is going with him in Budlight Racing. So into the first straight for the first time. The man in front, Yarrawonga 4x4 on the side of Epic Racing. It's Tyler Gilligan, mate.
Yeah, Tyler Gilligan doing a great job from Carlin Bailey as they cross the line for the first time. And Maxed Out will be in 3rd. And Meads, Jack Meads in the Budlight side by side now as they go down into turn number 1 for the first time with Maxi Cook close up against the pins, and the Budlight boat just trying to drive around the outside, and he's got the better of that turn. So the Budlight of Jack Meads now takes over 3rd position from Maxi Cook in Maxed Out.
Yeah, interesting. Keep your eye on the boat in 2nd spot, Carlin Bailey. So he went for a really aggressive move into turn number 1 down there and slid to the inside. So trying to outturn Gilligan. Actually upset the boat a little bit of inside sponsor and lift, and he lost a bit of speed and put him on the inside. But you saw in the back chute then, he actually opted to go back outside again. So drove through the mist and the spray and went back to the outside. So had a look at it, didn't like it. And now Ty Gilligan, he's very nice, just skates this boat on the exit to turn number 3. And that's the thing, this is limited horsepower racing. You've only got 60 horsepower non-modified Mercury racing engines. You've got to flow these boats. So there's a couple of ways to get around a corner. We'll watch them as they go through. Do they trim it down to drop the boat in? So Ty Gilligan just kisses the sponsons on the surface of the water. Oh, it's hooked in. That's going to give you enough. So it's now going to be gunwale to gunwale for Carlin Bailey. So that's what I'm saying. This is horsepower limited, so you've got to be centimetre perfect every time. And it didn't come off that way, but back on the gas hard, and some good acceleration from the boat on the inside has managed to hold off Carlin Bailey just on his outside.
Certainly has. That was a really good opportunity there for Carlin Bailey to make some ground. It looks like they're not too far off side by side. Carlin Bailey looking for the outside run, the wider arc, able to keep the momentum and the RPM up. Now we've got a drag race for turn number 3 with Gilligan on the inside. Carlin Bailey on the outside in Queen Bee. And look at the line that has been used by Tyler Gilligan. Brings Bailey right out wide, just about puts him on the foreshore here at Lake Moala. But these two getting away now from Jack Meads and Maxi Cook rounding out our 4-boat field. Yeah. Andrew, the rooster tail really tells you a story as to how the boat is behaving.
Yeah, it certainly does, mate. The amount of trim. So we talk about trim. There's paddles on the wheel of this boat. So depending on what the drive preference is, but let's say right-hand lever, it trims the engine out. So the further out you trim the engine, the higher the nose of the boat goes in the air. These Formula Tunnel boats, they're a little catamaran, and you'll see that when they're coming straight towards you. They have the gap in between the two, what we call sponsons, the holes on the left and right. It's wider at the front than it is at the back. So as the air pushes underneath the boat, that gap narrows, the air becomes compressed, and it lifts the boat off the surface of the water. So these drivers technically are referred to as pilots. They're essentially flying these boats. Oh, Carlin Bailey, this is a pressure move. Look at that. The applause rings out. So Ty Gilligan caught napping. He went for the same move to carry him wide.
Moved across.
Now he needs 3 boat lengths to take the line. So what he's done, he has to allow him a line. Oh, Carlin Bailey.
Gets swamped
there. The tower's going to have a close look at that because did he have 3 boat lengths? But Carlin Bailey, he went completely blind in the spray, and you could see as he drove into the spray, the boat tried to lift its nose. All of a sudden, that air that's getting jammed under the boat becomes air and water vapor, gets much denser, and that's enough sometimes to put you upside down.
Got to have super quick reflexes in these boats to be able to trim them almost instantly. If you get a puff of wind under the front of the boat, you want to trim it down quickly, but then get it back up again as well. As Tyler Gilligan Goes down into turn number 2. Carlin Bailey not giving up. There's going to be another drag race here in a minute. Carlin Bailey got the better of the exits out of turn number 2. He's going to come alongside him this time. Let's see what behaviour from Tyler Gilligan is going to do this time. This time he hugs the pins and he allows Carlin Bailey the better run around the outside, that wider arc, keeping the RPMs up. Let's look for side-by-side as they get down towards turn number 1.
This is all about racecraft, and that's what I love about this category. So Tyler Gilligan, first time out, took him wide. That was a good tactical move. Went to do the same thing. Carlin was a wake up to it, stepped to his inside, put a lot of pressure on Tyler Gilligan. He was then forced, and Carlin Bailey goes inside again now. In turn number 2, he's got a great run and exit. This is going to be enough. Now, this is going to put him on the transit, but we've seen a bit of boat speed. The Mulgard, 2 different hulls out in front. Ty Gilligan, he has rights to this boy now, 3 boat lengths. He has not been overtaken, so he can actually set his line into this corner. And I guarantee you it's going to be a very tight and very straight line. So Carlin Bailey is going to have to opt to sit around him. No.
He goes underneath.
He hangs to the inside. He is a Bailey after all. The applause from the bank.
And he's got the lead.
That is a power move, and it's paid dividends, mate.
Awesome bit of driving and racecraft from Carlin Bailey. Of course, mentored by his father, multiple champion winner in Craig Bailey. And he now takes the lead by some 15, 20 metres now as they cross the line. Shouldn't be too much left in this one, Andrew. It's going to be a close end, a race to the end here, with Gilligan now on the back foot having to chase down Queen Bee and Carlin Bailey.
This one is not over, mate. I can tell you that right now, that Ty Gilligan, he's driving with some confidence, but the little bit more aggression from Carlin Bailey. It could have gone either way. As I said, he nearly upended himself when he went through the spray in the front chute, but there is some pace in that epic racing machine. The boat in second. The boat out in front, Queen Bee Racing, owned by Tracy Pugsley from up at Dargle, so has won a lot of races. And now that he's got some clean water, Carlin can run his own line, but Ty Gilligan is not away, but has a run out of Jack Mead's Budlight number 3, doing it beautifully.
Doing a great job, and back there in 4th position in Maxed Out is the birthday boy this weekend in Max Cook. But it's all Carlin Bailey at the moment in Queen Bee. As you said, Andrew, now able to take the lines that he wants to be able to take. And he's increasing that lead this time across the start-finish line. He's out to about probably 60, 70 metres now in front of Tyler Gilligan. As they head down into turn number 1, there can't be very much time left in this one as Jack Meads goes past in the Budlight F4 and Maxi Cook.
Yeah, let's have a bit of a look at Maxi Cook this time around, because I'm watching him through that last lap, and, mate, he's doing nothing wrong. The boat's just down on a bit of outright pace. Like, he's driving it beautifully. You see him through there, super smooth in turn number 1, nice and flat, no mid-corner bobble, just pokes the nose in the air again, and he's really aggressive. You can see the boat, he's got a great attack angle on it. So I'm thinking propeller selection potentially. Maybe he hasn't. He's either might be down a bit of revs, they might have gone a tiny bit too tall, or he's actually banging the rev limiter, because there is nothing that guy's doing wrong behind the wheel that's translating to this gap that's forming in front of him.
As you said, Andrew, there's only like 1 or 2 mile an hour between these 4
Absolutely.
competitors.
Yeah, over the course of 9 minutes, you only got to drop a tenth on a corner, and you add that together and you end up with this kind of delta. But Maxi Cook needs to carry his head pretty high, because, again, watch him now out of the exit at turn number 3. The boat's just performing beautifully. It's, as I said, he's just down on that straight line pace. So I'm putting that one down to a bit of propeller selection. Maybe could have gone a little bit taller in these flattening conditions, but hey, you've got to have a bet before you put the boat in the water.
I mean, sorry, mate.
You're right. And
I mean, overall, all of these boats are handling beautifully out there. They've got the right angle of attack. They're maximising that limited horsepower that they have out of that stock standard 60 horsepower motor. And they're doing what they can. I'm just seeing whether Jack Meads is actually closing in a little bit on Tyler Gilligan.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. The clock's running down, obviously, and these guys have radio comms with the crews on the bank. But, mate, he's a racer. He's a provisional racer in this series. But this kid likes to win stuff. Doesn't matter what you put him on, whether it's a skateboard, a milk cart, a push bike or whatever. He likes to go and win. And this is all about experience. So Ty Gilligan, he's running that boat pretty flat right now. So just trying to make sure, I said he had a little bit of a hook down there. He's a little bit conservative on the trim there on the way through. And, yeah, you're right. Budlight is closing him down.
Yeah, Budlight looking very, very good. And I don't know whether there's an issue on board for Tyler Gilligan or it's just outstanding driving from Jack Meads. But if these two boats are equal in power, look how far Jack Meads is now starting to encroach onto the back of Tyler Gilligan as they head down the big long drive all the way down there to turn 2.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and if I watch the attitude of the boat in second place, Tyler Gilligan, the Epic Racing Machine, that boat is not changing angles. We're not seeing the wash move up. I wonder if he's lost his trim.
Trim angle, yep.
So he's actually caught at a trim angle that means he can't lift the nose of the boat to get more air under it, and he's managing it through the corners. Because you see, the boat not changing its attitude there. And
1 lap to go.
1 lap to run for Carlin. But yeah, you can see the boat's
very
flatter, and you can see Jack Meads, the angle of the boat, that's jamming more air under it, so reducing the friction, and it's translating to speed. Watch into the corner now, Ty Gilligan, the spray and the rooster tail in the wash doesn't change. So yeah, I think he's got a trim issue, I would imagine, for that young bloke out there, so that's a bit heartbreaking. But Maxi Cook again, another lap in the bank. So this time through, it's going to be checkered flag for these 4 hard charges. I think the oldest man in the field is 18, which is Carlin Bailey. Maxi Cook at 17. I think these other 2 blokes are 16-year-olds out there.
Of course, every lap is a learning experience. The racetrack is not the same every lap. But how is this guy out in front? Got to the lead on about lap 3 or 4 and is able to drive away now. Carlin Bailey in Queen Bee. Lines up for the last corner, looks up to the tower, sees a checkered flag. He knows he's got this one in the bag. Yeah. Well done to the Bailey family, and Carlin Bailey will take the win in Queen Bee from a hard-charging Jack Mead in Budlight F4. Great drive for second. Provisional driver, isn't he, Andrew?
Absolutely, mate. He's been welcomed into this field, and, mate, he's done a great job. And yeah, Ty Gilligan, unfortunately, I reckon there's a bit of an eagle on board that boat. Maxi Cook looked beautiful all race and all weekend, so well done to that young man.
We say that our J3 drivers are the future of our sport, but that there is the future of our sport, like the second step up towards outboard racing or blown boat racing. But yeah, it's looking good. The future's looking good over here on the East Coast with standard and talent